Hey there, real estate fanatics, growth junkies, and serial entrepreneurs. This is Erik Stark coming to you with another video. And in this video, I want to show you how to create the ultimate morning routine so you can get more stuff done, become happier, earn more money, and just live a better life in general. And the reason I put this video together is in my business, where my partner Steve Mills and I, we buy and flip properties for a living, and we do a lot of high-level consulting with entrepreneurs and real estate investors. And we're constantly getting asked, how we're able to constantly get so many things done throughout our day. We're all given 24 hours in the day. You cannot change that, but you can definitely manipulate things in the way that you handle and go about your day. And for me, it all starts with how my morning is. So in this video, I just want to share how I ramp up my day, I build my best self. And if I don't do this, which I very rarely miss a beat, even when I'm traveling or on a vacation, it's very important that I don't ever miss this routine. And in this video, I want to show you guys how to build your routine so you can really start to create your mantra to set the tone for each day. I want to share a quote with you guys first and foremost, and I think everybody can relate to this if you've ever missed the alarm clock, missed an appointment, slept in when you knew you shouldn't have been sleeping in, you should have been at a meeting or an appointment. You can relate to this. Lose an hour in the morning and you will chase it the rest of the day. And how true is that? When you miss one critical part of your morning, it just creates a domino effect for the rest of your day, and you're just not going to get it back. You can try, you can race through rush hour traffic, you can run up the stairs and exhaust yourself rather than the elevator, and it always just happens to be Murphy's law that when you're pushing and you're late, it just creates a domino effect and slows you down the rest of the day. So very critical to make sure that you are spending your mornings the way you should be spending them. First and foremost, I really would like to give credit to the men of influence in my life that have really helped me define, redefine, and then reinvent my morning routine. I've always been an early riser my whole life, so I've never had to battle getting up early to get things going. And, when I think back to even my childhood, I always woke up and, did my chores and my responsibilities early. So waking up early was not my problem, but really setting the tone and guarding that time and building some framework around how to spend my morning extremely effectively. And the way that I do that is by working on myself, not getting right up and going to work, as you're going to see here. But these men here are people that have really helped me carve out and define my morning routine. So first and foremost was a gentleman named Eben Pagan in his program called Wake Up Productive. I came across this back in late 2009, and it really just helped me clear my plate and put a mental presence around the idea of waking up with a productive mindset to accomplish everything you need to. And as real estate investors and high-level coaches, you're faced with some tasks and some large responsibilities that you have to eat that frog every day. And if you're not willing to do it up front, it just, again, it sets the tone for the rest of everything. So I think this isn't a pitch here for anything. I'm being very candid and honest about the people that have really helped shape and form my morning routine. I think he only releases this like once or twice a year, but it is the absolute best program I've ever read and went through. Every New Year's Eve, I pull this program out, I go over my notes, I do the challenges, I do the worksheets, and just kind of reinvent myself through that process and kind of build and grow from there. So another gentleman is Preston Ely with his Wake Up Wealthy program. This is kind of a spin-off that if you guys know Preston and Eben, you'll know that they are two different personalities. Preston is definitely a little bit wilder and more radical, but that's the type of person that I relate to. So he's really been able to help me, take it to the next level aside from what Eben Pagan has offered. And again, another very crucial, critical program. I don't think it opens very often, but when it does, I highly advise you guys to be on the bandwagon. Send me an email. I mean, I know these guys personally. They're good friends of mine. I may be able to sneak you in or get you some kind of affiliate link or however that stuff works to get you guys in before the doors open. And again, this is not a promotion or a pitch or none of that stuff. It's just dead honest truth of what's helped me. And just recently, again, I've been doing my routine for nearly a decade now. But my buddy Alex Pardo, who lives down here in South Florida with me, recently was interviewed about his ninja process of his routine every single morning, and it really resonated with me more than anything else. I mean, it was a short 30-minute video. I think if you go to realestatemogul.com or you go to Alex's coaching website, I think it's alexpardo.com/mentoring or coaching, he can share that information with you. And again, it was just extremely critical to me reinventing and adding a few more steps and processes to what I was already doing. And I'm thankful to all you guys. You guys have been huge impacts, mentors, friends in my life. So I want to further help you guys to really get the most out of this video. So look there for additional insight and growth spurts. First and foremost, if you're not waking up early every day, you're missing the greatest opportunity to really define your day and set the tone for the most productive thing that you could possibly do is have alone time, undistracted, and you really are able to step aside from the world when you get up early and carve out your specific needs and focus on them for that time frame. So, my family usually wakes up about 7 a.m. So I need, a good 2 or 3 hours before then to kind of smack the zombie out of myself and, kind of go over what I need to do for the day and set that tone. So I literally wake up between 4 and 5:30 a.m. Some of the biggest CEOs in the world are up at 3, 4, 5 o'clock every day, and they're running or at the gym or checking emails, whatever it is, just to get a jump start on the day. It's what it takes, guys. I don't know any other, way to tell you, but it's what it takes just to be up early and start producing. So you being able to wake up early starts with the night before. If you're the type of person that goes to bed at 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, it's obviously going to be very difficult for you. I'm of the philosophy of early to bed, early to rise, work like hell and advertise. It's kind of the mantra in our office. But if you're not going to bed at a decent time the night before, you're going to have a much difficult time. So if I need to wake up at 4 o'clock the next day, I'm typically in bed by 9. If I go to bed by 10:30, I usually get up at about 5:30. And you need to know your sleep cycles so you can determine what's good for you. Some people are very effective on 5 hours, 6 hours. I myself need a good 7-hour dose of sleep every day. And actually, if I sleep over 7 hours, I actually become tired for that extra hour. So know your sleep cycles. I think there's apps you can download to your Droid or your iPhone that will wake you up at different intervals throughout the morning. And you'll know. I mean, there's times when you could wake up at 3 o'clock, and we've all done it before, and you're just like, I'm not tired. I'm ready to be up for the day. You are starting to recognize the pattern of your sleep cycles and play to those, because that's when you're your most effective for waking up without feeling like a zombie. Usually when I go to sleep at night, I typically have eucalyptus burning next to my bed. This can also be, I got to give a disclaimer here, this could be a big, you could actually become, I don't want to say addicted, but dependent on it in a way. I had a pretty nasty dirt bike crash years ago where I have a very difficult time breathing. So I keep eucalyptus pretty much in every room in my home, just so, being able to breathe good is something that I truly miss. And again, I busted my teeth out and busted my nasal cavity up pretty bad. So for me to get a good breath, there's not many things in life that can offer that, and eucalyptus is one of them. So it's very important to me. This is huge, guys. I talk to a lot of people, and I don't hear many other people touch on this subject, but if you live with a clean conscience, you're going to sleep a lot better in life. I mean, when I hit the bed at night, I mean, I'm out like a light switch. I've went a good full run of the day. I've gotten everything done typically that I need to do on my to-do list, and I didn't rip anyone off or murder or kill anybody, so I'm sleeping with a pretty safe and sound conscience that I don't have demons keeping me awake at night. And I know there's a lot of people out there that you have a hard time sleeping because there's things that you're living with that are just, they're tough on you and they keep you awake. I mean, it's internalized in you that you have some serious issues to handle and overcome. And when you live free of those, you will definitely sleep much better. So Get the sin out of your life. Try to keep a clean conscience. Do good by society, and I give you my word from my experience that you will sleep much, much better. Another thing for me is, again, I got to have a good night's rest that comes with being able to breathe very clearly. And in order to do that, I use nasal breathe right strips every single night. If I don't have it, I will literally wake up in the middle of the night and go put one on. It's just a must-have for me. It's a non-negotiable thing. I advise you to maybe try a couple of these things. And this is just my idea of how I've built my perfect day. Yours is going to vary greatly. Some of this may be too much for you to jump into all at one time. Do it at your pace, because if I just throw all this at you at one time and you try to implement it all, you're going to get overwhelmed and just quit. It's just like going to the gym where you see these people doing these rigorous workouts and you want to be buff and tough. This is your first time hitting the gym ever. You can't go about it the way that other people who've been doing this for a decade are hitting it. You got to go at your own pace, build it with your own momentum, and just kind of let it grow from there as you get comfortable. So be pushing a little bit, but make sure you're not overwhelming yourself, or else you're not going to stay the course. Giving thanks. Before my feet ever hit the floor, I'm giving thanks, for my day. And there was a time when I didn't always used to do that. I really had to combat myself throughout my morning and, have a lot of self-pep talks with myself to overcome, things I was dealing with and just negative mindsets. And, the real battle of life is one between the 6 inches between your ears. So I've really learned to immediately, when I open my eyes, it's not me tricking myself. This is what I've truly began to live with conviction on, is showing gratitude for my life. I mean, I'm thankful that I'm able to wake up from the night, that my house didn't burn down, an intruder didn't break in. I'm able to wake up next to my wife with my son in the same home, and we're not divorced, and all these things that can really sit on somebody's heart. I'm very thankful for every little ounce of detail in my life that can that makes up this great life that I live. And when you have that internalized within your mind and you wake up first thing, you're not dreading the day and the work day ahead. I mean, you're ready to go out and share your gifts and be a blessing. And part of that is you recognizing that you have gratitude for the things you've been given. So if you don't know what those are, stop and pause this right now and make a list of everything that you're grateful for. I don't care if it's your luxury car with air conditioning or heat because it's super hot or super cold where you live at. I don't care if it's your eyesight. I mean, grab a bottle of water out of your fridge and look at it for a moment. Do you know how many people go without clean water whenever they choose, let alone hot water that comes out of your faucet? The list is endless when you really begin to look around and see what you may take for granted in your life that is actually a big blessing. Being able to walk, being able to open a fridge with your hands, being able to steer with your own fingers. These are blessings that, talk to somebody who lost a limb in a war or who can't move at all, and you'll find reasons to be happy for your own self. So make that list, stop it right now if you need to, and revisit that list every single morning. Get a lamp shade or a lamp right next to your bed. Don't put your feet on the floor until you read that list and become thankful for your life. And understand it with conviction. I mean, it's very crucial that it's not just you, going through the motions of reading it and, blah, blah, blah. You need to internalize this. You need to wake up feeling like a giant every day, being thankful for what you have and the gifts that you've been given that you can give back to the world. Some of the things that I say as soon as I wake up is, this is my first quote that I say every morning. I mean, it's second nature to me. It's just become a way of my life. As soon as I wake up, the first thing I say is, this is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And it's become a part of my nature of who I am, that every day I'm recognizing that God has got me through the night. I had great dreams. I'm able to get up again and go at it with the gifts given to me and be a better person to this world. So, another one I say every day is, as I believe in my heart, so shall I become. The reason I say it, it's a true statement. If you think you're going to dread the day, you will dread the day. If you're going to be grateful and happy for the day, that's what's going to eventually pan out. Immediately after I get up and I'm done, giving gratitude and going through a couple of simple affirmations. Keep in mind, guys, I mean, I don't wake up, ready to go into a boxing match as soon as I step out of the bed. I still feel like a zombie very much. So what I do is I go to the bathroom, I use the restroom, I do my business there, and I immediately splash cold water on my face. Now, as soon as I wake up and go into the bathroom, I'm doing my business in the morning, I turn the water on and let it get cold. The reason I do this is, and this is totally up to you, if you're doing it at room temperature or warm or slightly cold, you're only cheating yourself. You can do whatever you're comfortable with, but I assure you, if you wake up every morning and get in the routine of splashing as cold of water as you can tolerate on your face, your level of awareness is going to increase immediately once you get up. So your first wake-up call of the day will come when this shock happens to your body and you've increased your awareness. You're now able to really set your mind on certain things, get your day going, and kind of raise your ability to to get out of that zombie-like state a little bit quicker. I brush my teeth right away. I learned this from one of my old Russian friends. I used to brush my teeth after breakfast or after my day got going, but I immediately wake up and brush my teeth. A healthy mouth is a key to healthy living, and there's germs and plaque and all kinds of crazy things that go on while you're sleeping, and I've just become a freak about keeping my teeth clean and fresh at all times so I don't ever develop cancers or whatever those things are. And I must note that, I do use a special kind of toothpaste. My wife is a health fanatic, a naturalist, so she's always researching, and we actually create a lot of our own toothpaste, but when she doesn't have the time to do it, we use a toothpaste called Coral White. No fluoride in it. It's pH balanced, and it's not that garbage you're going to go spend. We spend a good money on this, but we buy it from the vitamin store. It's probably triple the expense of what you're paying for Aquafresh. But again, we care about our health so much that we use a special kind of toothpaste to do that every morning. And this is something that you may not do it, but I have a list. It's called What Matters, that is taped to my mirror in my bathroom, and that list is renewed every week. So every Sunday, I sit down with my wife and son, and it's very casual. There's nothing formal about it. We're not having a business meeting. It's just a very casual page that we have on our bathroom that says what matters. And pretty much what that consists of is, what does everybody have going on this week? So we're aware of a game that our son may be attending, or an upcoming event that we have to take to, or if my wife says she wants to go rollerblading twice a day, 5 days a week, I might have to get our son from school one day, or I may have an appointment that's going to roll over into dinner time. It's what we have going on in our life that we're aware of, that we know we can help and pitch in and be a closer family, because everybody knows everybody's schedule. So I'm seeing these things in front of me, and some of those things on my What Matters list is things just to remind myself that I have to finish my routine every day. I got to go through all these steps. I got to remind myself to do multiple things throughout the day. But that list is constantly evolving. Some of the things stay on there and never come off. So maybe you want to adapt this. Maybe you don't. It's something you'd put off into the future. But that list is very, very crucial to my day, because after I smack myself across the face with cold water, I'm able to look at the first thing that I know has coming to me that day. My wife has to go do this, and I need to be aware of that right away. So, lastly, when it comes to, being in the bathroom, finishing everything up, look yourself in the mirror and face your truth. And I mean the truth, not your affirmations of telling yourself that you're a decabillionaire and all the... Face your truth right then and there, where you're at in life today. And, stop for a minute and really look at yourself and give yourself a wink. This is the day the Lord has made. You're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Get out there and make sure that you're doing yourself justice and living with truth in everything that you do. Because if you're not, this video is just a waste of time. If you think you're just going to be a flash in the pan success because you're doing a morning routine, it's just not going to happen. So whatever truth you're living with in life, make sure it's the real truth. Look at yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself it's game time. It's going to be on. And then jump right into the next part of your day. Next, after I've already done my business in the bathroom, I'm getting ready to to get my day going. The first thing that I do is I start brewing my coffee. Now, I'm a person who absolutely loves coffee, but with as much bad products are available out there, I usually limit myself to 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day. But my secret is I like my coffee extremely strong. Whenever I go to a friend's house or people come over or I'm traveling, nobody likes to have coffee with me because I do like to have it so strong. I typically would make myself what's called a Russian style coffee, and that's just boiling water every day. And then I put my coffee into a canister, and then once the hot water is done boiling, I just dump it right into that canister. And I mean, it literally comes out like mud. I put a little bit of creamer in there, no sugar. I like to stick with as much organic coffee as possible because everything that we're being fed on the shelves today at these supermarkets are just garbage and killing our bodies. But 1 cup of super strong coffee is what I have to start my day. I grab my mason jar of warm water. I usually put a little bit of pH balance in there. You can buy trace minerals, and I have to balance a lot of my water out just because I eat a lot of fruit and veggies, and they have a lot of acid content in there. So my pH levels are naturally a little bit more acidic because again, I'm having a super strong coffee, which right out of the bat that increases my acid levels. I'm having a couple bites of fruit throughout the morning, so I have to fend that off in 2 ways. Number one, with hydrating my body, because you just spent the whole night sleeping, your body's dehydrated. Plus, now you're feeding yourself coffee, which dehydrates you even more and puts acid content in your body. So I got to try to balance that out a little bit and have a mason jar of warm water. I walk outside in front of my home. Now, again, I live in Florida, so it's a little bit different being able to walk out at 5 o'clock every day. And what I'm there for is ultimately the stillness. I don't care whether it's warm or breezy, or even when I go back to other states where it's colder or raining, I'm outside for the stillness. I don't care if I have to sit under a canopy. I love being outside, typically before 5:30, because the day is very still. The birds aren't chirping. Even though I live close to the ocean, a lot of times there's not even a breeze. It is just pure stillness. So I appreciate those moments. Although I'm becoming very aware, one of the mantras that I have in my life is to be still and always moving. Be still and still moving is what we call it. So when you can walk outside in the morning and you're getting your day going, you just begin to have a little bit of appreciation for the quiet and stillness, because everything is always so much commotion. At least in my life, we're always moving forward. So I typically do stretches, jumping jacks, and again, this is no vigorous workout. This is just to get my heart rate going. I'll do like 50 jumping jacks just to get it up and moving. I got a trampoline outside. I'll do jumping jacks on that, or just do a couple of stretches, whatever you need to do just to get your heart going. Maybe you want to intensify it a little bit and hit the gym or go for a quick jog. That's perfectly fine. Anything to get your heart rate going for the day where you can, again, you're increasing your awareness is the goal here. So I got to breathe deep. And, again, you may not be as critical on this as I am, but, being that I have a very difficult time breathing in life. I have to bust my nose up every day, and I literally have to smack myself in the nose and kind of grab it, wrangle it around, and bust up the cartilage and the structure just so I can take a couple of deep breaths. You can probably even hear on this recording that I'm not able to breathe through my nose because I had a nasty accident. So breathing is very, very crucial to me because it controls so many different parts of our body, our awareness, our happiness, our moods at times. So another thing that I do is I have a lot of essential oils around me at all times. Eucalyptus, camphor, spearmint, peppermint, olive oil, lemon, a lot of things that I constantly have going. So I'm able to pick up on those scents, increase my awareness, and be able to breathe a little bit deeper in everything that I do. So I typically keep one of these things at my desk at all times, and I just, I take the cap off, I inhale it for a couple of seconds, and you'll know when you go buy one of these peppermint or spearmints, you inhale it, and it's like a jump start to your heart immediately. So don't become dependent on this stuff. I do it because I truly need it and cherish the ability to breathe well. If you're breathing, that can be one of your blessings right there, is that you are able to breathe without any kind of dependencies like these oils or eucalyptus and burners and things like that. So another thing I use quite frequently is a neti pot. Maybe not so much every day. I typically go down to the ocean a couple times a week and soak in the salt, and that's able to bust my nasal cavity up for the day and get a lot of stuff out of there so I can breathe heavy or breathe easy the rest of the day. But if I'm not able to do that, I keep a neti pot in my bathroom. I use warm water, and then I typically use like a Himalayan pink salt for my neti pot, just because I would never use any of that stuff that comes off the shelves. It's not really salt, so whatever they're telling you, spend a little bit of time finding the products you want when it comes to your health and your food and things of that nature. So once I'm done, creating my level of awareness and outside, raising my level of awareness and becoming familiar with my day, I'm now ready to sit down and start my reading and go over my agenda for the day. Now, I have a place in my office that it's called my undisturbed space. My family knows not to bother me here, and this is nothing more than a chair that is extremely comfortable. I have a little lamp next to it, so when I wake up in the morning, I still got a pretty dim light on, and I'm just able to sit in silence, go over some of the things that are important to me for the day, and this is where I begin building the ultimate Erik for the day ahead. So, one of the books that I'm always reading every single day, whether it's in the morning or at night before I go to bed, is my Bible. That's my ultimate guide for living my best life ever. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You're not hurting my feelings, but I've spent a lot of money on education. I keep a lot of mentors in my life. My greatest mentor and partner in my life is my Bible and having a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. So it's up to you if you want to take that, but it's worked well for me. If your life's in shambles, you may owe it to yourself to look into that a little bit. Then I move on to whatever books that I'm currently reading in life, and I'm always revolving books. I'm always studying something, and I typically have 3 to 5 books going at any time. Very important for me to get about 30 to 45 minutes of reading in every single day. And another one of those is, I have index cards, I have goal books, I have extensive notes from, seminars and my readings and things like that, where I have access to so much revelation content that changes lives. And so many people take notes and come home and, throw it in a bookcase or throw it in a binder or a storage facility, and they never look at it again. I keep this stuff around my office. It's everywhere. My wife's like, aren't we ever going to clean this stuff up? And it's like, if it's not in front of me, just like the old saying goes, out of sight, out of mind. When I keep this stuff next to me every day, I'm able to go over, ideas to have a better marriage, how to be a better parent, how to live with more grace, how to be more harmonious, how to love people better, how to fight anxiety. I got to have so much different content, because when I'm having an issue in life, I may have taken notes on this thing 6 months ago and just forgot about it, but when it's in front of me, I'm able to go through that every single part of my day. I carry a lot of index cards with me, and anything that I'm ever doing in life gets boiled down to an index card, whether I'm having conversations with sellers, how to react to an argument or a disagreement with somebody. Everything in my life boils down to an index card that I typically carry in my pocket or a notebook or a binder, and I'm always going over this. So I don't want to give you guys the impression that when I sit down, I read my Bible for 30 minutes, each book for 30 minutes, my goals and index cards, and then I start writing and doing all these different things. It's switching it up every day depending on, what I'm feeling comfortable with and what I'm gearing it toward. I have 2 different journals in my life, one for the experiences, one for my spiritual and personal growth. And it's not uncommon for me to pull those out and just read through those about a time or a day. And I may even contribute to them. I typically do my best writing first thing in the morning. So I will sit down, grab my journal, and write about a recent experience or an event or a breakthrough that I had, or add a quote, or whatever the case may be. So once I'm done kind of going over that, I push back for a minute. I just take a couple minutes and just try to turn my brain off for a second, and I go back to giving gratitude, saying my prayers. And again, this is very casual. I know a lot of people get tripped up when it comes to the relationship side of having connection with Christ, and it's very casual. I talk to God just like I am right here. It's very casual. It's very simple. And this is my biggest secret to having a great day. I could do everything and miss this one step, and you'll know it if I don't sit down and say my prayers. I'll be a train wreck for the rest of the day. I'll be, there'll be anxiety flowing through me. I'll be on a rush with everything that I do. This is one of the things that's really helped keep me under control, is by recognizing the higher power than just the little piddly things that we do throughout our day. So, a couple of good tips there that you can manipulate this to your favor and what you think is working for you. And then last but not least, I go over my daily to-do and even a not to-do list. So my to-do list is created the night before with no more than 6 things that I must account. Now, these aren't go pick up the dry cleaning and small errand tasks. These are like, today one of the things that I had to do was reach out to one of the biggest record label companies out there, because now they're producing a content company, and I want to get some of the information that my business partner created through their distribution company. That is something that was on my list that got done first thing when I sat down at my desk. That is one of my top 6 things that I must do. It took time to craft that email, to write it, to rewrite it, to make sure that it was enough to get opened and passed along to the right people so we can get a response. These are not, low-end, simple tasks like drop your kids off at school. These are high-level, mega dollar-producing, high-result activities. Now it's time to get some fuel into my body. Now it's been about a good hour, hour and a half, maybe going on 2 hours where, I got to start getting some fuel into my body to get my day going. And before I do that, I go run 1 mile every day. Rarely do I miss a beat when it comes to this. And I want to tell you guys, I dislike running. I don't hate it. I dislike running. But the one thing that keeps me on it every single day is the discipline behind waking up every day, kicking my own ass, because nobody's going to do it for me. 1 mile is nothing. People probably look at that and laugh and probably run 3 to 5, and one day I'll be there. But for now, every day I get up and run 1 mile, and during that time, it is nothing but a thought-breeding, grateful conversation with myself about, who I am, what I have going, how to be better, and basically just a pep talk to get me through that 1 mile. And before I know it, I'm back home ready to get into the next part of my day. Again, it's something I dislike a lot, but I've had to learn to tolerate it and make it something that I look forward to every day. So although I don't like running, I love the discipline behind it. In order to get me through every single day, to keep me on consistency with that task, there's got to be something beneficial that I look forward to. If not, I'm tricking myself into doing something that I truly don't like doing. There's no benefit except for maybe the health benefits, which, that's what we all need. But it's enough for us not to do it if you don't have a reason why to follow through every day. Immediately after I get back from a 1 mile run, I take a cold shower. And again, I don't mean a room temperature shower. This is a cold, like ice cold shower. And I stand under there for, just a minute and let the water run down my whole body. And when you stick your head and your body are 2 different things when you take a cold shower. But when you stick your head under a running shower head and have this cold awareness jolt your body, you're going, even this one step alone, if you don't do anything else, start taking cold baths, cold showers, jump in a cold pool, and just start creating awareness around this one simple little task. Cold showers, must-haves. I never miss it. Even if I may be out of town somewhere and I don't run my mile, I'm still going to take a cold shower every single morning. It's like taking a shotgun to your anxiety. Then I come back and, I'm getting dressed at this time. I usually put on a little bit of music throughout my house so I can wake up my family. And what I'm doing at this point is I'm creating the day's energy. I'm setting the tone for my household. Now, if you walk into your wife's room and you turn on the light right away and you jolt her out of bed, there are studies that are based around when you jolt somebody out of bed that quick, like the sound of an alarm clock, the natural reaction is to be combative. So find a pleasant way to wake up your family. And in my home, we sleep with fans on. I turn the music on in the house. I know what songs everybody wants to hear that gets them motivated throughout the day. I turn off everybody's fan. I turn on a light in the hallway so there's some level of, them needing to wake up. I don't rush in and, start screaming at everybody. You just cannot do those things. So I wake my family up peacefully. I start creating everybody's breakfast. I typically have a fresh juice. Here on my property, we have mango trees. We always have fruit and veggies in our refrigerator, so we're always making different concoctions every day, depending on my mood. There's no set plan for how I, regulate this, but health has just become a part of our way of living. So I either have a hard-boiled egg for the protein, and then a banana that I take with me throughout the day, or some kind of bowl of fruit that I'll take with me. Now, I typically have my fruits earlier in the day because I love my fruits, guys. I really do. And if I have it too late in the afternoon, it gives my body too much sugar. So I've learned to train myself to have my fruits earlier on in the day, burn off that sugar and everything that I'm doing throughout my, my morning and afternoon. Then I may come back during midday and have another juice or take some kind of veggies with me where I'm snacking on those for the remainder of the day. So again, it's all about creating the day's energy, setting the tone, making sure that everybody wakes up in a good mood. Nobody likes to wake up and start their day off because, again, it's just a domino effect. Doesn't do you any good. You're unproductive. The whole world hates you. Murphy's Law occurs in everything that you go after. So do your best, create the energy, do the work, and build this to your own expectations. Lastly, I got to tell everybody, nothing's more important than you being happy. And the way that I do that is, I don't live a perfect life. I have the craziest things happen to me all the time that you would, just like you. I mean, things pop up, life happens. I keep my blessings close at my side, and in everything that I do, I'm just trying to show my love and care and consideration for the rest of the world. I'm here to spread the wealth, guys. If creating this video, it took time out of my day. You don't really realize what goes into sitting down and creating this. I'm not an internet marketing guru or any of that stuff, but I do this because you guys reached out to me wanting to know how I'm able to get stuff done. I mean, it's going on probably 30 minutes to record this. It put me an hour and a half to put this together, to write it all out and do all these things. It takes time, but I do this for you guys. So this is my true gift to the world, is being able to share the love, spread the wealth, and do all these things. Last but not least, go buy you some happy glasses. Man, I tell you, these glasses right here, now these are official blue blockers, so they set me back a pretty penny. But I have so many different pairs of orange and blue lens HD glasses that my business partner Steve Mills calls them my happy glasses. You put these things on, the whole world just brightens up. Everything about your day just becomes that much better. And down here in South Florida, where there's sunshine all the time, you have to have these on. But I don't care if you live in Seattle, where it rains 310 days out of the year. Buy these glasses and you will see how much it just lightens up the skies and any rays of light that are out there. Go get yourself some happy glasses and be happy throughout your day. So I appreciate your guys' feedback. I'm all about the engagement and having a further conversation with you. If you got any information from this, please, pass it on to somebody else who may be able to use it. You can contact me at any of the links below, wherever you may find this video. You know how to get a hold of me, facebook.com/the Erik Stark. I run all my own social media. I don't have a virtual assistant do anything. When you send me a message, I'm likely going to be the one to pick up. Actually, I will be the one to pick up the phone and call you back or answer your email or your request. I don't outsource that to anybody. I'm real. I'm here. I'm doing it all for you. So from Erik Stark, Steve Mills, I just want to thank you guys for spending a little bit of time, and be sure to share this, give me some feedback, and let me know how it improves your life. I'll see you guys later.